Hello, and welcome back to the Test Drive Podcast, brought to you by Sport Car USA. I'm your host, Lee Bodette. Well, hi there, everybody. Welcome to our Test Drive Podcast, number 53. It's the first podcast of 2025. I'm Lee Bodette, your host, with Scott Nickerson from Sport Car USA. Scott, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. I'm back. It's been a while.
It has been a while since you've joined us, so we've missed you, and welcome back. We're going to have many more of these throughout the year. As I mentioned, we're already over 50 with our YouTube channel, which is doing quite well.
Yeah, we've got 2.25 thousand subscribers right now. So hopefully, 2025, new year, we're going to shoot for some bigger goals and get some more of you on there.
Absolutely. I've been a radio broadcaster for over 40 years. I host a series called Test Drive on the YouTube channel, and I'm the front man and host of Sport Car USA, a car enthusiast my entire life. That's not bad, right, Scott?
No, it's a long time.
Yes. We thought this being the start of 2025 would take a look back on 2024, kind of a recap of the year, and then see what's going to be happening in the year 2025. So, to begin with, we started off the year in January. We were very, very happy that we were asked to go to the Mecum auction in Kissimmee, Florida.
Much warmer than it was.
Oh, my goodness.
We left, and there was a snowstorm.
There was a snowstorm.
So it was perfect.
Ice all over the vehicle. We ended up flying out of Plattsburgh, New York, the little tiny baby airport where the guy not only takes your tickets, he runs the snack bar. He also, I think he was a flight attendant. It's a small airport.
Oh, yeah. He was checking people onto the plane.
Yeah.
And then talking to us while we were getting fed. So.
Right. Now, you had never flown before.
No, that was my first ever flight.
January 2024. Wow.
Yeah.
You got your wings.
Yeah, they gave me a little pin. I still have it. I kept it in my camera case for the trip. So.
They usually save those for the children on the board.
Well, we all grow up at different times.
You had never been on a plane before, so yeah, that was very cool. And you did quite well. You didn't seem nervous at all, and
it was fun.
Kind of fun looking out that window, isn't it?
Yeah.
600 miles up.
So technically, I've done 2 flights because we had to come back. So
that's true.
I'm a seasoned vet now.
So on my bucket list was always going to either Barrett-Jackson or Mecum, not necessarily in that order. I was tickled pink, as I mentioned, to be able to go to the Mecum auction with all of you guys from Sport Car USA. It was quite an event. I've been watching it on TV for many years, and just to be there, it was kind of surreal, wasn't it?
Yeah, like we did bid on a few things and we took a few things home, but just being in that atmosphere is completely different. And hearing the auctioneers talk, some of them they're all really good at what they do, but some of them have different cadences and some are more enjoyable to listen to than others.
Right. And the way it works, the first part of the auction, let's say Thursday, that's when you're going to get your quote-unquote budget cars that you and I can afford.
Right.
And then as the weekend progresses and you get into Saturday, that's when million-dollar babies are rolling down the block.
We left before then. I think we left the day before all the big-ticket items were on the block.
They kicked us out. Yeah, we didn't have any money.
Yeah. They were like, you guys can't be here.
But it was a lot of fun. Wasn't it cool to see that?
Well, that and even stuff outside of the auction block because it's just full of cars. And there's stuff that you'll only see. Like, you're not going to see it driving around. So
No. And not just cars. I mean, they had all sorts of memorabilia, signs.
Right.
McDonald's signs, benches. I mean, just things that you grew up with looking at the various, generations, if you will, and the different decades of what was relevant in the 1960s, 1980s, that kind of thing.
Well, and there's stuff to do, too. Like, you and I got to do the Dodge experience where we got to go around a short drift track. And, that's a blast.
You can see that on our website, right?
Oh, yeah, we got a YouTube video of
it. When I'm screaming like a little girl. Anyhow, it was a lot of fun, and as Scott mentioned, we did manage to bid on 3 different vehicles. They weren't sport cars, even though we're Sport Car USA, but we also do own a Toyota dealership and another downtown location, so we helped supply them with some inventory, and some of them were a little rough.
Yeah, that's the thing is, like, not when you think of auctions, sometimes people think that it's everything's museum quality or pristine, and no, there's stuff that's regular cars. So we got what was it, a Land Cruiser?
Yes, blue one.
A blue one. It was beautiful. It wasn't perfect, but it was nice.
I see it around town.
Yeah, someone local bought it, and then a few pickup trucks.
Yeah, Exactly. What I liked about the Mecum auction was the accessibility, meaning that you could actually go onto the stage. Now, you don't want to get on the stage and start, waving toward the cameras and things like that, but they really did not shoo you off the stage if you were getting close to the car just to look at it while it's rolling through the block.
Yeah, as long as you're not like causing a disturbance or being too intrusive, then you can kind of get pretty close.
We're hoping that we get to go again. It is January 3rd, and time is ticking.
Yeah, we're getting close. I don't know if we're going to get to go this year, but
we're going to send this this podcast to our general manager, Adam Luno, and we're going to send it hourly.
Yeah, we got single-digit temperatures coming soon, so
exactly.
It's a good time to go.
Cars and coffee, that's always a huge thing that goes on every third Saturday, I guess it is.
Yep.
And there are a number of them in the state of Vermont, which is where Sport Car USA is located. Those are a lot of fun.
Yeah, and they host them at a few different locations sometimes. They have like their main location, which I know went through a little bit of a change. Where they're hosting it was at a mall.
Yeah.
And there was a Denny's that was there that was, right? It was Denny's, yeah.
It was.
Or IHOP.
IHOP, yeah.
IHOP. And they were supplying the coffee.
Both out of business, by the way.
Yeah, and so the IHOP went out of business that they were getting coffee from.
Yeah.
So they kind of had to shift. I don't 100% know what happened with it, but yeah, those are great events because they're free. You just go and you meet other car people, and you see some pretty unique stuff.
You just gave me an idea. Since Sport Car USA goes to most of these car and coffee events, why don't we bring the coffee?
We could.
We'll go to Dunkin' Donuts or wherever and get those big jugs. We'll be heroes.
We'll be the coffee suppliers.
Absolutely. Mark that down. We're going to do that. Absolutely. In May, we had our first showcase.
Yes.
Of the year for Sport Car USA.
Yeah, and this was, since we've started doing these showcases, they've changed a little bit every year. When it first started, they were once a month, and we did that for the first few years. Right. It was at our downtown location, which we grew out of, which is great. It's not the biggest location. We graduated to our other location at the Toyota store, and we did it this year just once.
Yeah.
We did it in May. And
weather was good.
Yeah, it held off.
It did.
Other parts of the state, it was raining apparently, so we lost a few people that otherwise would have come.
Yeah.
But we had bad luck in the past with the weather, so
we really did that one year. Not last year, 2024, but 2023 was a disaster.
Yeah, we had to cancel like half of the events.
Oh, it was awful.
Yeah, but we had pretty good turnout considering that it was raining in other parts of the state. We had some food trucks. We had some local. We had a touch a truck event at the same time, so we had some tow trucks and fire trucks, and it was a really fun event for the whole community.
A lot of interaction with the families, which I thought was really cool. Made it a big family event, and I would imagine this year we're going to do the same thing, probably in May, right?
You were interviewed by the news, were you not?
I was, yes, Channel 5 News. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
So we'll do it again in May. Do we have a date on that one yet?
Usually we do it the third Saturday.
Okay.
So I will look for that to be the date. I don't remember that number off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But that's all on our website as well.
I'm hoping we can do one in the spring and one in the fall, but I don't want to push it.
Yeah, we'll see how burnt out we are by the time fall comes.
Exactly. There's an event called The Classic, and that's on a street. Well, it's actually on Main Street now. It used to be the Kingman Classic, which was a street in St. Albans, right there in the center of the city of St. Albans. And now they do it on Main Street, which I like much, much better.
It's a lot more space.
Yes.
And I think they kind of went through a thing, too, where they outgrew their street. Now they do it, and they have a lot of it in Taylor Park. So you have a lot of cars spread out over Taylor Park, and there's a recap video of that as well on our YouTube page.
Yeah, and
they have a lot of cars, and it's a big community event, and it's a good time and organized very well.
Yeah, they have a flea market going on at the same time. But I love car shows where they're lined up all the way down the street on both sides of the street. That's impressive.
It's a lot of cars.
Yeah, and we saw some mighty fine cars. And again, it's not just sport cars because we are Sport Car USA, but a car show like that, you're going to get antiques and classics and you name it, you'll see it.
Yeah. There was a couple of years ago that we interviewed a guy that had this, I forget what it was, but it was tiny. You remember it had the engine in the back? It was
it was like Renault, wasn't it?
It might have been. But there's stuff like that where there's just like older European cars that have been imported that you just wouldn't see otherwise.
And there's quite a history on that one, too. I can't remember exactly what the guy was saying. But
it's in the video.
It's in the video.
You can go back and watch it.
All right. I like that a lot. We did a few episodes called In the Rear View. That was something new in 2024.
Yeah, we tried something out, and those are actually, right now, I just was looking at the analytics. The one we did about Lee Iacocca is our most viewed podcast episode to date.
Yeah.
So it was for a while the Meet Lee Bodette video. So people love that.
Yeah. That's why we don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
But anyhow, explain what In the Rear View really is.
Yeah, so what we did is, because in the past we did another series, part of the test drive series, where we took a deep dive into specific car models. But this, we did kind of a deep dive into the people that made those cars famous. So we did Lee Iacocca was one of our better examples of that, where we dive into the history of who they are and what made them like an icon in the industry.
Really interesting.
Yeah, and it's a little bit different. Like, this is a lot more casual, whereas that we got to do a little bit of research, and I learned actually quite a bit doing all that research. So
yeah, a lot of bloopers when I was trying to read the script.
Yeah, there was one.
Oh my goodness, it was bad.
That we did about the father of drift, Kunimitsu Takahashi.
Oh yeah, okay.
And you were having a hard time.
Yeah, I am today.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, we do have to run a blooper reel one of these days on our.
Well, I purposely didn't prep you on how to say the names.
Yeah, well,
so we'd have those bloopers.
Yes, we do. There's many of them for sure. And we also, in the past, have done a lot of test drive episodes. Didn't do any in 2024.
Yeah, we didn't get out and drive anything this year.
Want to bring that back.
Yeah, so if that's something that the people out there want to see, where we kind of jump into a vehicle and drive it around and give our thoughts, then that's something that's definitely on the table. And
all of this is on Sport Car USA, our website, and you can get that along with our podcast.
Yes.
For sure. In August, we went to the Vermont Antique Classic Car Meet in Waterbury, Vermont. This is one of the largest in New England.
Yeah, there was a lot of emphasis on the water part of Waterbury this year.
Yeah, always. It seems the last couple of years.
Yeah, it was a little bit damp this year.
Right.
But we did get to meet some cool people. I forget what that car was. It opened it looked like a refrigerator in the front. I cannot for the life of me remember what kind of car it is.
I can't either. It was very
But that's another show where you see a lot of stuff you'll never see again.
Yeah. And the philosophy of some people, a couple of things. It's not that they don't care about driving their vehicles in the rain or the bad weather, but they just do it. Other people would not think of
like
me, would not think about going to a show if it's going to rain like crazy.
Right.
Because the mud. I mean, they're in a field.
Yeah.
They're in a field. And I'm not saying people enjoyed it, because they certainly did not enjoy it, but they still, God bless them, brought their vehicles.
Yeah. And the thing about that show is the demographics are a little bit different. There's a lot more classic stuff there.
Right.
But they're really big on getting the younger generations involved.
Yeah.
They have some scholarships and things like that go to local tech centers. And they're trying to keep it all alive. Yeah. Which is, I think, really important. Like, we always talk about that too, how the generation that's into classic cars is getting older. So it's all about getting the younger people involved.
Yeah,
interested.
That's why Sport Car USA wants to be there.
Yeah,
and will continue to be there.
Oh, yeah.
We really have a good time there. But boy, I tell you, it is not fun to see a Model A being dragged out of the mud with a tractor.
I know you said that when they had it at the other location
in Stowe.
Yeah, that you saw that.
Yeah, Stowe, Vermont. Yeah, it was
tragic.
Not good to see at all. We went to the Swanton Car Show in Swanton, Vermont, home of the. What are they? The not flamingos. Come on.
Swans.
Now. Swans. The Swans. The Swans for Swanton.
Yes.
There you go. And the Swans were there.
Yep.
In the park.
Yep.
And this is a really fun event.
It's a lot of cars. You drive by and you look and you would not think that this little park can hold so many.
They fill the park right up, and I think it's like 200 to 250 of cars there, and
they do a lot of awards too.
Oh my goodness, over 50.
Yeah, the award ceremony was long, but we got to provide some awards this year.
Yeah.
And you were actually able to hand them out to the winners.
Yeah. So in that show, if you don't win an award, your car sucks. I'm kidding. But yeah, that's a lot of awards there.
Yeah, and we get to go up there and hand some stuff out.
Yeah, they do a great job.
And that's also part of our community too. They're the next town over, so
10 minutes away from us here in St. Albans, and if you go any further than Swanton, you're going to be in Canada.
Yeah, just about.
The last show that we went to, and it's an annual event for Sport Car USA, it's the Lake George Adirondack Nationals.
Yep. might be my favorite show.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and the nice thing is I think this past year was our third year. I believe it's our third year. So people recognize us now.
Yeah.
And that's really cool to see. They're like, "Oh, you're back. I remember you brought this car last year." And the t-shirt designs changed a little bit from last year, so people were excited they got like a new different t-shirt.
Right.
We got to interview Batman.
Yes, we did.
Right next to us all weekend.
Batman was there.
Yep.
And the Batmobile.
Yeah, and you knew him.
He's an Elvis
prior.
Presley impersonator. His name is James Collin, I think is his name. Forgive me if that's wrong. Maybe it's Callan. But James has been on the radio with us with the station that I work for, WOKO in Burlington, Vermont. Nice guy. He's kind of getting Elvis, leaving the building kind of thing.
He's Elvised out.
He's pretty much Elvised out. But now he has the Batmobile. And at his home, he has a Star Trek Enterprise from the TV series.
That's right. You can walk through it.
He built, yeah. And what did he tell me he's doing next? Scooby-Doo?
Yes, the mystery mobile, or mystery van.
Yes. It's really interesting, so check that out.
Yeah, and that's also, not to do it again, but that's on our YouTube page. You can see we interviewed him.
Yeah.
And, it's a huge event, and you never will get to see everything.
Yeah.
At least from our perspective, when we're at our tent, it's hard to see everything in a day.
Yeah, and you mentioned T-shirts. Really how many thousands of T-shirts did we give out in 2024?
So many. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're free.
Yeah, and we've got a lot of T-shirts still, and we've got some other stuff we're going to be giving away soon.
Yeah.
So
we enjoy doing that. We had some great interviews. A couple I just wanted to pick out here. We had John Shaw from the Hemmings magazine.
Yeah, he was a well of knowledge.
And
they've been doing it for a long time. So,
and that's based in Bennington, Vermont.
Yep.
But it's a magazine that is all over the country.
Oh, yeah.
Very well known. We talked with Vermont Sports Car in Colchester, Vermont.
Yep. Yeah, we talked to someone from there who also runs kind of like a race group in Vermont.
Yeah.
They do some time trial stuff, and they do some ice racing in the winter. They run a lot of them out of the Diamond Run Mall parking lot, because the Diamond Run Mall doesn't exist anymore down in southern Vermont.
Yeah.
And it's just an open group for people to go join and drive their cars fast.
And this business is known all over the world.
Yeah, Vermont Sports Car does all the stuff for Travis Pastrana.
Yeah.
And all the e-rally stuff. And yeah, it's an incredible facility.
It really is.
We'll go down.
Yeah.
We should.
We keep saying that. We haven't been in there yet. It's 20 minutes from here. The place, from what I hear, is like a continuous showroom where you could eat off the floor.
Yeah. Yeah, we should look into going and doing a tour and putting a
podcast.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that's kind of a recap of 2024. It was a great, great year. We're looking forward to a 2025 calendar that's filled with a lot of events. The calendar should be out and about real soon.
Yeah, the order has been placed, so they should be coming soon.
Yeah. And if you want a calendar, just go to sportcarusa.com. Give us your information, and we'll send you one at no charge.
Yeah, message us on Facebook, Instagram, any way you want. Reach out. We'll make sure you get one.
That's great.
We ordered 500 of them. So
yeah, and we're looking forward to getting some swag out there as well this year.
We got some different stuff. We're going to be one of our, I guess, parent or sister companies, however you want to do it, is getting into vinyl production.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a lot more custom stickers and other stuff like that.
And I have to say, Scott does a lot of different things for Sport Car USA. He did design a Mustang Camaro T-shirt that got the axe. That didn't go over.
We've got them.
We do have them. We do. But
so,
the general manager wasn't fond of them. Is that what the deal was? Okay.
No, but we got them.
Poor Scott. He worked so hard on those.
That's
so
fine. I like them. That's all that matters.
We're glad you do.
I have enough to wear one a day. So
we can send you one of those too. It'll be a classic because it will never be designed.
Nope, never will probably happen again.
Never be produced again. Yeah. 2025, we're hoping to go to Mecum, as we mentioned, but that's coming up in a couple of weeks. We're going to have to talk to the GM about that. Barrett Jackson and SEMA. That's on our bucket list.
I really want to go to SEMA. I think that's a really cool show.
Yeah.
And our general manager and one or two other people went a few years ago, and one of the people was sending me back videos and photos so I could post some stuff, and I was just drooling over all the stuff I got to see. And
yeah,
that's on my list.
All right, we've all got our bucket list, that's for sure.
We'll make it happen.
Scott Nickerson from Sport Car USA, thank you so much. Anything you want to add before we say goodbye to 2024?
No, definitely goodbye to 2024. It's a good start to a year. We got our podcast we're going to be cranking out, and just keep an eye on our social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, you name it, we're on it. So
absolutely. Thanks for listening to our Test Drive podcast number 53 today. I'm Lee Bodette, your host, along with Scott Nickerson from Sport Car USA. Be sure to check out our Test Drive series on YouTube. And if you're looking to buy or sell a modern muscle car, just go to sportcarusa.com and we'll fix you right up with a number or 2 or 3. We'll see you next time on our next Test Drive podcast. And remember, let's never forget the men and women serving this great country of ours. Goodbye, everybody.